Hey you guys, it's your boy Davian. Welcome back to another edition of Conscious Television. We are going to talk about part 4 of the Queen's Court drama. If you guys are interested, then stay tuned. So as you guys know, every time we want to retire this drama and the situation between Maddie and Khia, there's always something that comes out that just adds complete fuel to the fucking fire. As you guys probably are already aware of, Maddie and Khia both took to social media to rebuttal each other once a fucking again. Khia started her tired-ass show called The Gag Order. The show was basically a fucking disaster. I only ended up watching it because one of my subscribers came to me and asked me had I seen it, and that Khia had once again made implications about Maddie that might possibly be problematic to Maddie's character, etc. Khia couldn't even get motherfuckers on the line. The bitch didn't even know how to use a phone or the dial pad, because you know the bitch communicates telepathically with damn dead spirits and shit. So she couldn't even get people on the line, get people through. It was what it was. Now in her commentary about different things, I think she was talking about Monique and going in on how Oprah played the shit out of Monique, or how Monique played the shit out of Oprah when it came to the molestation allegations, and how Oprah had brought and paid Monique's family members to come on to the show to give their side of the story. Now Khia kept going back and forth saying that she felt this way about Maddie. She felt like Maddie basically stole the Queen's Court from under her belt. I'm going to take this video into a totally different direction. We've had fun in the past 2 videos. I've shaded the shit out of Khia, roasted the shit out of Khia, flipped, sauteed, remixed, dipped, and dub set that bitch in the previous 2 videos. But I actually want to talk more about what's actually being said by both of them, and kind of talk about some life lessons in this whole situation that's coming about that I think we all could learn from. Now, Khia said that Maddie went forth and patented the show, that she went and got licensed and trademarked and brought the domain and the name of Queen's Court right under her belt, that Maddie never consulted her about buying the Queen's Court name, about buying the license, about buying the essence, the image, and the likeness of the Queen's Court, and that she basically feels bamboozled and betrayed. And she was also happy to be doing her own show because she didn't have to be censored, etc. And she was very surprised that Maddie would try to censor her to appease these white people, when Maddie has done all type of freaky, whorish, immoral shit. And now all of a sudden, you know, she's trying to be politically correct, and Khia's like, girl, look at you, look at your past, look at your index of career. She was a whole fucking porn star, so why the fuck would you try to clean it up now to appease these white people? If they're gonna give you a show, they're gonna give you a show. If not, they not. Maddie apparently got whiff of this, and you know, she laid out the motherfucking receipt. She spoke about how Khia ass was full aware that she was buying the Queen's Court, that she was buying the domain, the property, because she had listened to bloggers like Justin J, who were saying they would go purchase the site and purchase the domain, and that they would take ownership of the license for the Queen's Court. And she called Khia immediately and said, girl, we gotta jump on this shit. Khia told her to go handle it, and that Khia was supposed to pay her and reimburse her for going ahead and purchasing everything, which came out to a total of like $1,500, $2,000. When Khia got back to the house, Khia didn't make mention of it. Khia didn't hand Maddie any money on behalf of what she paid for the both of them, and Maddie just kind of kept the train rolling. She just kind of just moved forward. You know, Khia didn't say anything about it. She paid for it. It's protected. They moved on with the brand. Now Khia is out saying the shit was stolen, the conversation never happened, and that she had to hear that Maddie brought the image and the name of the Queen's Court from other subscribers and fans of the show. Now, do I believe this? I don't know, to be honest. I do not know. Now, obviously, Khia doesn't have a track record of being a truth teller, therefore, you know, naturally anything that she says has to be questioned, indicted, and convicted, because she has a history and a pathology of being a pathological liar. So 2 things either has happened. Either Khia is telling the truth and Maddie didn't have a conversation with her, or that conversation was had, and because shit didn't play out well with their duo in this project, Khia is just flipping everything to make Maddie look bad, because that's what the fuck Khia does. I'm going to go out on a limb and say Maddie had the conversation with Khia. Khia gave her the go to go purchase everything. Khia never reimbursed her for the money, and Khia never made mention of the situation again. Now, if that happened, that's okay. But I also have to question the friendship element of this, because Maddie's whole defense of Khia this whole time has been Khia has been burnt in the industry. People have done her wrong. She has trust issues with people. Fine. If you've been burnt and you have trust issues with people, fine. That's reasonable. However, if you go into business with a friend and you know their perception, you know they have trust issues, you know that they feel like a lot of things have been stolen from them, and you now are in business with this person and using the direct scenario that they're in, you go and purchase the domain. You consult Khia, she gives you the go, and she doesn't make mention of it after that. Me as a friend, if I was in Maddie's position, I would not have let that shit go, because I know that in the end the shit ain't gonna look right and the shit ain't gonna be right. I know that this is the type of bitch who, if things happen to go wrong with us, you're going to do exactly what you're doing right now. You're going to try to say I stole something from you, that I took something from you, etc., and that not being the case. I would have pressed the fucking issue about Khia. Girl, give me your $1,500, give me your $800, however much she owes, so both of our names can go up on this shit, because I'm not gonna have you around this motherfucker saying that I stole anything from you. And even if I would have had to bring the Queen's Court to a halt, just the reason with Khia about why it's necessary for her ass to also co-own the rights and the license to the Queen Court. That's what I would have had to do, because I care about the friendship and I care about us having something that can survive the business, because the Queen's Court can take off today and it can be gone by next year. But is the business going to corrupt the friendship? I would have had to at that point realize that I'm either going to make this situation more about business or I'm going to make it more about friendship. With that being said, I would have saved my friendship by making sure that Khia was up on her game when it comes to every aspect of the business. Because the truth is, Khia did bring the Queen's Court forth. She was the first one to yell the Queen's Court, to say the Queen's Court, you enter the Queen's Court now, bitch. No, she did all that. So she brought the idea. Maddie basically was the label behind the talent. She gave it visibility and light. She put it out into the open. She used her platform to give Khia's idea life. And therefore, you got the Queen's Court, the phenomenon. Because of the way Khia is, and because of Maddie knowing Khia's history, if I was in her position, I would have pushed the fucking issue. We wouldn't have got anything else done until we would have been on the same page when it came to that license. Point blank and period. That's just me. Now, Khia, at the same time, bitch, nobody got time to babysit you. You're a grown-ass fucking woman. You've been in this industry for about 15 years now. You came out in 2002. So you know the ins and the outs of how all this goes. Nobody should have to police you. Nobody should have to supervise you. Nobody should have to beg you to protect something that you're calling yours. At the end of the day, that's all you're going to be able to say, is that the Queen's Court idea was mine. But who's going to benefit is the person who actually handled the business aspect of the Queen's Court, which is Maddie. If this was your idea, bitch, you should have been patented. You should have been licensed to shit. You should have been got your deeds and titles on the Queen's Court. And when Maddie was gracious enough to say, girl, we need to own the Queen's Court, she gave you the opportunity, bitch. Y'all making money. Why didn't you just front the fucking money? It just goes back into that whole self-sabotaging thing. I don't really believe that Maddie didn't have that conversation with you. I don't believe that Maddie is the kind of bitch who would be underhanded like that. She doesn't even have a reputation for being underhanded. Now, Khia made a lot of claims as well about the LGBT community. We've covered this, but I found something very telling in her video last night, the gag order. She said that when her conscious community, the black community, kept coming to her like, why you fucking with these people? You know they brainwashed, you know that they're sick, you know that they're not spiritually right. She told them it's just business. So there it is, out of Khia's own mouth. The bitch has only tolerated the gay community. She's only used the gay community to put momentum behind the shit that she does. Her assistant, Bailey Dolce, was a gay man. When you go back and look at her past videos where she's doing the roast and gag, she's sitting around with a bunch of shitty butt bottom ass gays, getting her whole life. She's only used them to exploit them for their services and their talent, but she has given a shit less about their fucking lives. She only used it as a means to an end, as I stated. And Khia reaffirmed that in her video last night by saying, I've only fucked with them because it's business. So there you have it. It's no longer speculation. It's no longer my fucking opinion. Khia said it out of her mouth what her position is on LGBT persons, peoples, and communities. Okay? This also explains why she could not fully trust Maddie. See, Khia had two different narratives in her mind. She had the narrative of, I'm a part of the black supremacist, black conscious community that says that LGBT people are hurting black people and that this shit is non-African. My people are continuing to reinforce my beliefs about the LGBT community. Then on the other hand, she's having the direct experience of a trans woman who's being good to her and loving to her, and she can't reconcile her religious dogmatic beliefs with her direct experience of a loving, conscious, empathetic, supportive LGBT person who's rooting her on and helping to build her. And she's having this confliction because a part of her don't want to be here, because she don't want to be here with this type of woman. She don't want to be here with this type of human being. She would prefer a sane, normal, heterosexual man or woman to be there, but instead she's having to be in business with people who she don't believe is on the right side of things. This is why Khia wasn't pressing the issue behind the scenes about handling business the right way, because the bitch really didn't want to be in business, not with Maddie. She's been willing to be in business with Janet. She's been willing to be in business with Trick Daddy. She's been willing to be in business with Gucci Man. Mind you, all these people talk about sex. Janet is an anytime, any place kind of bitch. Trick Daddy is a jump on the dig. Gucci Man is a bam, 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 shoot 'em up, shoot 'em up, shoot 'em up kind of nigga. So you out here doing business with other people who exploit the killing of black people or who exploit sexuality and promiscuity, but yet you're being hard on Madison because of who she is and who your beliefs say she is, instead of allowing yourself to believe the person she's showing directly to you. So Khia's behavior sabotaged a lot of shit. Nicki Minaj backing up the Queen's Court. She was helping them to get a production deal to take the Queen's Court to the next level. Now, I found that to be very strange too, that Khia would beat her feet because she's rooted for Nicki Minaj. Her both and Maddie are fans of Nicki Minaj. They both are Team Nicki Minaj. And here it is, Team Nicki is, wanting to back the Queen's Court, and Khia is acting a fucking donkey once again. And a part of me is starting to believe that Khia just didn't want to face the scrutiny from the conscious community. She didn't want to face the scrutiny from the peers who's saying you're doing the wrong thing by fucking with these people. You know that this is a no-go. And I feel like her beliefs are more important than her career, which is fine if that's the case, but you should have never went into business with Maddie if you knew you couldn't reconcile your beliefs with doing business with somebody who you don't believe should even be what they are and should be even doing what they're doing, and that you shouldn't be in any kind of way supporting this behavior, because as Khia said, it's just business. That's the only reason why I've been fucking with these people and fucking with Madison and fucking with these individuals. It's business. So business sealed your fate for you. Now, unfortunately, Maddie got to undo all this shit. She got to do on damage control. She got to throw the situation out there with Nicki Minaj just to clean up shit that her sis is doing and saying. And I think Maddie still doesn't quite get it. I don't know why she's leaving the fucking door open for this problematic ass person. Ever since the Queen's Court died down 2 weeks ago, it's been nothing but drama, and it's been because Khia has worked in reverse in how she's handled everything. She's done everything but talk directly to Madison. And Madison said in her video last night that, I thought me and Khia had a heart-to-heart in DC when we worked together, and now it's back this. Khia don't want to get it together. Let Khia do what the fuck she gonna do. I wish her much success. I hope she gets herself together in the way that she needs to, so that she could be successful without feeling like she's contradicting herself and contradicting her spirituality or whatever the fuck she believes she has and whatever God she fucking serves. I hope she reconciles all of that shit, because it's been a mess, and she's made a mess out of business with a person who really loved her, who was down for her, and they had a great thing going, and she had to go sabotage it with all her fucking confusions. The moral of this story is, people, if you're going to do business with friends, please understand the type of friend you're going into business with, and make sure that your expectations are realistic, because obviously Maddie expected more out of Khia than what Khia actually gave. And maybe Maddie just forgot that Khia is just the kind of bitch who you have to really stay on top of her. And I think Maddie kind of got lazy about some things, and she started taking more of this on as herself. But then that started to make it look like to Khia that Maddie was stealing things from her, which really wasn't the case, but that was the perception, because too many things were being crossed because they wasn't really working together on every aspect of this empire. So you guys have to make sure that y'all fucking friendships are intact before you do business. Business has costed people relationships to their family, to their spouses, to their kids, with their friends. If the foundation between friendship is not strong, bitch, business will make or break the fucking relationship. So before you decide to go into business with anybody, please, especially if there's a pre-existing relationship, just make sure that shit is intact the way that it should be. I wish the ladies well. It looks like it definitely would not be working out between them. March 19th of the Queen's Court will probably be Maddie and some other co-hosts, and Khia will try to launch the gag order, and it will be what it is. They will finish their little tour dates together, which I think they got like 2 or 3 more, and it'll be what it be. You guys can tell me what you guys think of the drama. I would love to retire talking about this, but you guys keep spilling fucking tea, and then you make my subscribers come to me to tell me, bitch, you need to talk. We want to know your perspective. So I'm here giving people commentary on behalf of just being requested to do it. It's not going to work out, you guys. So we can all give up our fantasies about them working it out. I personally didn't think that they should work it out with the business because I know what kind of bitch Khia is. However, I didn't want their friendship to go under as well. I guess we will continue to see what happens, and hopefully both of them will be able to prosper in terms of doing pop culture commentary in their own individual lanes. Share, rate, and subscribe to this channel. Thank you guys for all the support, and I will talk to you guys later.